Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? How the devil are we? It's your old pal Shanksy, and welcome to my roster reviews, where we look at yours. Well, maybe not yours, but somebody's roster that's asked for it, and we have a little look what they're doing, where they're going with it, and if we can offer them any advice whatsoever. Now, these are really good for a couple of reasons. One, you can look at how many days played, where they're at, how much they've spent, and compare that to your roster and see if you're moving in a similar direction or indeed a better or worse direction, and hopefully get some tips and tricks while we're at it. Now, before we get into today's roster, if you're interested in having your roster looked at, there are links to the Discord down below. There is a small charge for the service, but if you join the Discord, have a little look and drop me over a DM if you're interested. I look forward to hearing from you. But without further ado, let's get into this roster, shall we? Yo, what's happening, boys and girls? So today's roster, we are going to be checking out Gelosong, Mr. WillyRyan, a very, very good friend of mine and a good friend of the stream. Absolute bloody legend. We done his roster review not too long ago, and he wanted one for the very special 200-day milestone that he has literally just hit. He's been playing this game now for 200 days, spent just under 560 US on it, and in that time he's managed to amass 1.4 million collection power with his strongest team power at 1.9, war MVP 8 times, 112 of the characters collected. 2 of them are a max rank. All-time arena rank is 141, and his latest arena rank is 147. Now, a lot of the things that we're going to be looking at specifically are going to be geared around U6. Obviously, then with a mind for U7 as well, because even though you're gearing up for U6, you really want to be taking the right tunes for U7 as well, so you don't have to do a whole new team later on down the line. And then obviously arena defense and attack. Now, with your defense and attack, it really depends on your alliance as well, but that's something that I'm going to cover off video with WillyRyan, Mr. Gelosong, a little bit more in detail. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, we're going to look at the top of the shop. We are looking at Spider-Man up there at 39k, Captain Marvel at 38, Drax at 38, Rocket Raccoon 36, Scientist Supreme, Minerva behind me at 34, Thanos, Groot, Punisher and Vulture all around the 30 mark. So straight away, we've got a very, very strong semblance of a Guardians team there, and we've got some really good people for U6 as well, man, with Captain Marvel, Minerva, Pharos, even like a BKT team should really see you through U6 fairly straightforwardly, without a shadow of doubt. Green Goblin there at 29, Iron Man at 29, Miles Morales at 27, Jessica Jones at 27 with Rhino there at 27 as well, Mantis at 26.8, Chocolate at 25.8, Luke Cage at 25, Daredevil at 24, and Storm at 24. Storm, 4 red stars on her as well. And I've got to be honest, man, now this is a right split opinion. I still really, really, really like Storm in the X-Men team. Don't get me wrong, Scott Summers is up there now, Cyclops is a big part of it, but I really, really, really like Storm in the X-Men team. Mysterio there at 24, Venom at 23, Scarlet Witch at 23, we've got Elsa Bloodstone there at 22, 3 red stars on Elsa, Iron Fist at 22, Wolverine at 22.6, Gamora at 22.1, Ghost Rider at 20, Miss Marvel at 19, and then we've got Doctor Strange at 19.6 as well. He's 4-star. So we're just having a little look at who the max rank is. Wolverine's there at max rank. Go further back, see where we're at. Any other top guys? Vulture as well, already 7 stars. So I like it a lot. Right, moving on down, we've got Mordo at 17.4, we've got Mystique at 17.1, The Thing at 16.8, Crossbones at 15.4, there he is, just been talking about him, 15.3 for Cyclops, Hulk behind me at 14.3, Elektra at 14, Shield Medic at 13.9, Agent Coulson at 13, and Sabretooth there at 12.8. Now, I really, 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 really like Coulson for war defense, all right? It's a massive, massive thing. Even though he's not getting as many wins, half as many wins as he used to, having Coulson leveled up. Now, if you are going to do Coulson, the ones that you need to focus on with him are Shield Medic, Shield Security, and Shield Assault, and obviously Fury. And that's going to make up a very, very strong defense team for you, without a shadow of a doubt. Going over to Loki there at 4 stars at 12.3. Ant-Man and Wasp both at 12s. War Machine at 11. Hela. God, we're all getting 100 Hela shards. How is your luck? I'm super glad he picked Hela. I really am. Strife at 10.5. Hawkeye at 10. Sif at 10. Shield Assault there. Again, 4 red stars on Shield Assault at 9.8. And 9.8 for Thor as well. Moving on a little bit further down, we've got Blade Master, Hand Assassin, Heimdall, Bullseye, Noble, all around the 8 mark. Rescue at 7.8, Graviton at 7.3, Quake at 6.9, Killmonger at 6.9, and Shield Security at 6.7. Now, if you're going to be using Coulson in that team, you've got to make sure you get Shield Assault and Security a little bit higher. And Medic, obviously, is the glue that brings him back together and whatnot, makes that a very dangerous team. Ronan the Accuser there at 6.7, American Chavez at 6.6. AIM Monstrosity at 6.3, Vision at 6.3, Merc Lieutenant at 6, Winter Soldier at 5, with AIM Infected, Falcon, Mr. Fantastic, Kingpin. So what we're seeing is the top end of the roster quite heavily stacked, but there's no real depth. You know, once we get further down, we've got them up to like level 30s, level 35s, not very high on the gear tier, mainly just to get through a blitz rotation or two. So it's certainly the lack of depth is what we're seeing with Black Panther at 5.1, Hand Archer at 4.9, Kree Reaper at 4.9, Shield Trooper, Kree Cyborg, Okoye, Ravager, Boomer, 5 red stars on Boomer. I feel your pain, man. I've got 6 on my Boomer. Feels bad, dude. Feels bad, dude. Nebula at 4.4, Merc Riot Guard at 4.3, and Yondu at 4.2. Then we move a little bit further down. We've got Namor, Captain America, Hydra Scientist, Carnage, Crystal, Black Widow, Kree Royal Guard, Ravager, Stitcher, Night Nurse, and Jugs at 3.9. Now, I believe we've got the next row, but we're actually missing the row below that. And we've got Merc Soldier at 3.8, Human Torch at 3.8, Deadpool at 3.7, Cable at 3.7, Pyro at 3.7, and Baku at 3.5, Hand Sentry at 3.4, with Korath at 3.4, Hand Sorcerer at 3.4, and AIM Security at 3.2. And then, as you can see, we are missing quite a few of the Kree minions, the Hydra minions and whatnot. Then we've got Shield Operative there at 2.7 and AIM Assaulter at 2.7. That makes up the bulk of the roster. We are missing one page, I believe. But to be fair, it's so low down, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. And we are now going to have a little look at the save squads and hopefully be able to give Mr. WillyRyan some advice on where I would be focusing for his goals that he's got in mind right now. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a sec. So, having a look at the top of the shop, we have got the Guardians of the Galaxy there at 168, basically 169. Now, to be fair, with this team, if you were to drop Drax out of it, put in Thanos, or maybe, no, you know what, drop it out, and we're going to need Star-Lord for that, actually. We're going to need Star-Lord, but we can't be a million miles away from Star-Lord. Rocket's at 4 stars there. Let's go back to the top of the shop real quick. Yeah, so you've nearly got Rocket at 5 stars. So you're going to be able to get Star-Lord on the next pass around. Now, what I would recommend doing then is turning that team into like a BKT team. That is going to easily be able to mop through any of U6. Excuse me. So the BKT team is absolutely huge for U6. Now, it does have some uses outside of U6. In war, definitely. And more importantly, Minerva obviously makes up one of the very, very big parts of U7 as well, once you've got Ultron to go for that Tech Wing team. So getting Rocket Raccoon up to the 5th star, getting Groot up to the 5th star, see you've already got Drax, see you've already got Mantis, so literally making Star-Lord your priority at this point in time with an already very, very strong Guardians team is going to really help your U6 progress massively. If you can get that team up to about 200, 250k, that should be able to easily clear the whole lane without any dramas whatsoever. Depending on your lane, you might have a little bit of problem with the Thor node, but if you've got to have problems with the Thor node, you can put in Storm, and she can clear that node real quick. So yeah, as far as U6 go, the BKT team, so a little bit of a mix around on this will be your main team. So I'm pretty sure we didn't see Star-Lord, right? So we've not got Star-Lord unlocked yet. But that would be my main point of focus right now, would be to get Star-Lord. Next time he comes around, make sure you grab him and turn that BKT team into your U6 team. And then obviously Minerva will then go on to U7, and it's not going to be a total waste of resources. They're a very, very good team in war. A lot of people use them as a defense team. They're a very, very solid team. Then we go down to the Miss Marvel Brawlers. I really, really like this team. As long as Miss Marvel's passive is tier forward. Once her passive is tier forward, they're going to wreck face. Absolutely wreck face. Now, this is a great defense team as well, because people struggle with Captain Marvel. If you are struggling with Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, guys, I would recommend Wakandans and turn them over fairly quickly. Then we go down to the Sinister 6 team. Again, a really, really nice war defense team. And that type of power, you could where you're at the moment, you could also use them for attack as well. As far as positioning goes in all of these, we've got fairly solid positioning. I would definitely be keeping that as it is. Over here as well. Yep, solid positioning, no problem at all there whatsoever. Right, then we move down to the defenders, the old pun fenders, baby. 31k, 24k. So that is going to absolutely smash in Blitz as well. That Punisher is a fair bit higher than everyone else. When he gets his AoE, especially in Blitz, he's going to absolutely tear up shop. Now, you guys know how much I've loved the defenders in the past, but unfortunately, I feel their time has come and gone. So I wouldn't be working on them anymore. It's worth it for when they do the Heroes campaign every now and again, that little block party event, but very much on the back burner. I wouldn't really be farming them whatsoever. Supernatural there at 103k. Now, Supernatural is one of my favourite teams at the moment, but unfortunately not farmable whatsoever. So there's not much we can really say about that until Elsa and Ghost Rider become available. Then that's going to be a very, very strong team. But until they're available, it's not really worth farming them just yet. I think we've got other priorities right now. Then moving down to the X-Men team with Wolverine. We're missing Colossus there, and obviously Phoenix. So that's a really solid team. I don't mind Venom being in there whatsoever. Solid positioning as well. Then we go down to the Power Armor team. Easily one of my favourite teams in the game, without a shadow of a doubt. Their War Punch-Up is phenomenal. I love them to bits. And yeah, really, really worth investing in. Now, your Iron Man is massive compared to the rest of the team, dude. And I would definitely be showing that team some love. They're all farmable. You've got incredibly high red stars already on gold stars on rescue already. They're all farmable, and that would definitely be high up in my priorities as well. But lower than a legendary, if that makes sense. So my first point and call right now would be Star-Lord, without a shadow of a doubt. And then keeping another legendary on the back burner would be the best way to do it. Make sure you're spending your cores on that energy refreshes every single day. Make sure that's where your cores are going to, because that's going to give you more shards, more gear, more gold, everything. Spending your cores on energy every single time is going to be so worth it. And I feel like Power Armor team is definitely going to be a very, very big one to start on, because with that Iron Man being so high compared to the rest of the team, it's going to work well in Blitz, but probably only in Blitz. Then we move down to a much more well-rounded team down there. Well, saying that, much more well-rounded. We've got 36k Scientist Supreme. And again, that's going to cause a problem, especially where Scientist Supreme, easily one of my favourite characters in the game. Probably one of the best characters in the game. Definite God tier. But she's going to need some damage to boot. So getting Graviton up. A Monstrosity hits like an absolute truck. I don't like Infector on this team, dude. I really don't. I would much rather see Assaulter here, or worst case scenario, Researcher. But I really don't like Infector on that team whatsoever. Then we move down to the beasts that are the Asgardians team. And again, it's so super frustrating that these guys aren't really farmable. The only one that you can have a go at is Loki, and he's worth keeping on the back burner, but I don't think a priority at this point in time. Moving on down to Pharos with Yondu, Stitcher, Boomer, and Nebula. Again, a really good Blitz team because of just how high one character is, and that big character is a massive damage dealer with a big AoE. So in Blitz, that's going to work really nicely. Nothing wrong with that. Making the use of your roster. Make sure you're using all of your high people when and where you can. Then we've got the Coulson team down here, obviously without Fury, and again focusing on the Kree guys for that. Now I believe it's well worth focusing on Fury. So my two back burners right now, my main focus would be Star-Lord, and Star-Lord is going to help you clear U6, right? That is going to be your top priority, getting through U6. Then on the back burner from that, with my extra energy, I'm going to be spending that on Kree minions right now. I'm going to be spending that on Kree minions, getting the Kree minions up. They actually don't make a bad team by themselves, with Ronan chucked in there. And then you're going to get Fury. You're going to drop Trooper out of that little lineup. And then you've got a really, really solid defense team without a shadow of a doubt. And that's going to help you in a lot of different game modes. So Star-Lord's going to be my top priority for you. And then keeping the back burner on for the Kree minions as well. Moving on further down, we've got it's basically the Brotherhood Marauders team, right? With Mystique, Pyro, Sabretooth, Jugs and Strife. I'd really like to see Pyro a little bit higher. As a big damage dealer, he is really, really good with disrupts and everything like that. But this team should actually smash it in Blitz. Then we move further down to the Ant-Man and Wasp combo with a 14k. Nothing wrong with this team. I really like this team. This would actually make quite a good war team as well, depending on what you're going up against, right? Then we go down to the Hand at 46k. Fantastic Four, obviously without Sue Storm in there at 33 with Cable instead. Don't mind that at all. Then we go down to, what have we got here? We've got Night Nurse, Crystal, Hawkeye, Quake, and America Chavez. That's actually a really nice team. I like the way that's going to work. Clear all them disrupts, apply slow, hurt people with slow more, clear anything and a big hit, and then keep them a little bit healed up, and Crystal's going to help heal Quake up. That's going to be a fairly nice team. I like that a lot. Now, we have got a Hydra team. Now, I've got to be honest, up until today, or yesterday, I would have said, don't even worry about them, man. Don't even worry about them. But we come up against a team in war the other day, right? We come up against an enemy alliance in war the other day. They had a 250k Hydra team. 250k, right? I'm like, anything's going to beat that, right? Surely. Anything's going to beat that. That team kicked my arse, dude. That team kicked my arse. I underestimated them. I put in a 220k Kree team. Destroyed. I had to combat cancel. Then I was like, okay, all right, I'm not going to make that mistake again. I put in a 300k defenders team, a 50k punch down, and I still got smashed. Like, and I don't mean I just got beat, I got smashed. Like, it was ridiculous. So Hydra have actually found some like newfound respect for me right now since that rework. They're not a bad team at all. Plus with Red Skull coming up, and Red Skull just looks absolutely nutty. They could actually be a team well worth invested in, man. It's my team that I'm investing in right now. I'll put my hands up. You've heard it here first. And honestly, man, that war team destroyed me. If that was your team out there, fair play to you, man. Massive props. I didn't know what to do against it. Right, then we move down to Merc Lieutenant Bullseye. Deadpool in there with the rest of the Mercs as well. I really like this team. Offense up. Merc Lieutenant just fits in well with so many different squads. He's such a good character to level up. He's probably, in my opinion, the best. Yeah, the best, like, minion. You know? He's really, really good. Fits in so many teams. Such a versatile kit. Applying offense up. You got to love him. Nothing wrong with that team. Then we move down to the Wakandans. Obviously without Shuri, but Kingpin in there as well. Instead for the defense up. Nothing wrong with that. And then we've got the 23k Kree team down the bottom. So, as far as things stand, as where I would be working on. Now, I know U6 is a big priority for you, dude. U6 Star-Lord would be my number one. Fury would then be number 2, and Fury's going to help you out in U6 with the rest of his minions, and he's also going to help you out in War as well, which I know is an area that you're looking at. So they would be my top 2 priorities. As far as like a team that I would start working on right now or working towards, it really would just be bringing that BK team up to a decent level, and then getting power armor a little bit higher. I really like the power armor team. You've got good stars on a lot of them already. Starting to farm the stars, starting to farm the gear, getting that team up even higher. They're such a good blitz team, such a good war offense team. That would be probably my third priority. So Star-Lord, Fury, power armor, and then we can really mix and match from there and have a little look. But then after you've got that, you know you're going to be leveling up Star-Lord. Then you've got your BKT team set up. Then by the time you get Fury, your priority is going to shift over to the rest of the Shield team. So this is quite actually a long project that I'm giving you here with those three, dude. And I think that's going to help you out absolutely massively. Guys and girls at home, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. What would you be working on if you took over Mr. WillyRyan's roster right now? What would you be working on at this point in time? I'm intrigued. Guys, that is it for me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. WillyRyan, I hope it's helped, man. And I look forward to catching up with you on that Discord call. And we will discuss your war teams in much more depth. But until next time, boys and girls, take it easy.